Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Starkside. While you're here, I do appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting that like button, and if you're new here, please hit that subscribe as well as the notification bell. So today we'll be talking about the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen. So here we have Spider-Gwen in this cool card packaging for Across the Spider-Verse. So at the front here, at the top, we get the logo for Across the Spider-Verse. So it says Part 1. So I guess this figure was made with concept art before the titles were finalized for the movies. And at the side here, we got this nice artwork of Miles with Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man 2099 at the back. And at the back of this packaging, we get this nice digital render of the figure along with all the figures from this wave. Alright, let's get Spider-Gwen out of the packaging. And here we have Spider-Gwen. Now before I talk about the figure itself, let's go over the accessories. Despite being part of a wave, Spider-Gwen doesn't come with any Build-A-Figure piece, so aside from a masked head sculpt, Gwen comes with one pair of open palm hands, one fisted hand, one whipping hand, and this hood piece for when she's unmasked. And looking at these open palm hands, so they look nice. I like the details that we get here. I do wish the web lines were sculpted at the very least, but I do like how vibrant the pink is and the blue on the lines here. Same for the whipping hand and the fisted hand, so the colors look very nice and vibrant, but I really don't understand why Hasbro just doesn't straight up give us a complete pair of whipping hands and another pair for fisted hands. I mean, how hard can it be? And lastly, we also have this hood piece for when she's unmasked. So it's made of this plain white plastic, and I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't paint in the web pattern on the inside here of the hood to make it look better and more accurate to the movie. It also would have been better if this hood piece had some sort of peg and then a peg hole at the back of the neck or something, just to keep it in place and not have it move around a lot. And looking at the figure itself, so starting with the head sculpt, I think this looks fantastic. I don't think it completely nails the likeness of the animated Gwen Stacy, it doesn't have small details like the sketch lines around her eyebrows and her nose, but I still think this looks amazing. I like how clean and shimmering the eyes look here. And the hair sculpt also looks great, so it's a separate piece here and it's got great paint apps, I love how they captured the blonde transitioning to pink like in the film. So yeah, this looks beautiful. And while I love this unmasked head sculpt, I don't think they did a great job with the masked head sculpt. So switching it up here, and by the way, you have to be really careful when you remove the head sculpt because this figure feels really light and thin, and I feel like if you're not careful, you might break it easily. You can easily pop off the neck peg itself, which looks really thin here. And here we have Spider-Gwen all masked, and honestly, this head sculpt is really disappointing. But before that, I do have one thing that I like about it. I like how the hood here has that web pattern inside it, but the rest of the head sculpt, not that much. So first, I don't like how the hood here is stuck to the head sculpt. I wish we had an option to remove it, or at least have a peg that connects it to the head. Second, I don't like how the edge of the hood here has this sort of inverted V shape to it, so it looks weird because it doesn't look like it's attached to her suit. So I did try heating it up with hot water, but it just keeps moving up. And it looks even weirder when she looks upward, and the hood just goes along with it. Lastly, I don't really know why they chose to have her lenses all squinty-eyed here, I would very much prefer for her lenses to be in the normal regular shape or expression. So yeah, these lenses for me are a huge bummer. I'd probably use the unmasked head sculpt more, so yeah, putting it back here, and yeah, this looks better. The rest of the figure looks okay, so another thing that I wish this figure had was some texturing on the suit, something to tell us that she's animated like what they did with the SH Figuarts Spider-Gwen. And being an animated character, I think it would help make this figure stand out even more. Anyway, we got some nice paint apps on this figure, so for the most part, I think the figure captures the suit design from the movie very accurately, so that's great. Again, I like how vibrant the pink and blue look on the arms here, so just wish the lines were sculpted, Legs also look great. I like how clean and long the legs look. And yeah, the shoes look awesome too. I like the sculpted details that we get here, like the shoelaces and the vibrant blue-green color here. Looks amazing. I do think that compared to other figures, the legs and arms on this figure look really thin, and it feels like you can easily break it, you know? And I know it looks that way in the film, but yeah, for a figure, this feels really thin. Overall, except for the masked head sculpt, I think the sculpt and paint apps on this figure look pretty good. Now let's go over the articulation for Spider-Gwen. So Spider-Gwen can look up only that far, so she doesn't look up that far because of the head sculpt, but with the masked head sculpt, you can look upward even more. And she can look down all the way, so that's great. Her head does rotate, not much neck pivot though. Her arms move upward that far, so it's above 90 degrees, that's great. And she can bend them down all the way as well. Her shoulders do rotate 360. We get a bicep swivel, pinless double jointed elbows. Her wrists do rotate and move up and down, so this wrist articulation is the same for all her alternate hands. She has a diaphragm pivot that allows her to move sideways, bend forward, backwards, and rotate side to side. But being a spider person, I do wish she could bend forward a whole lot more. Her legs can kick forward that far, and not so much backwards. Her hips move outward very far, that looks great. She has an upper thigh cut, pinless double jointed knees. Her ankles move up and down, and she has ankle pivot as well. Now for some figure comparisons, here's Spider-Gwen with some other spider people from the Spider-Verse. So we have the classic Spider-Man from Earth 616, Insomniac Spider-Man Peter Parker and Miles Morales from Earth 1048, and MCU Spider-Man. And I think these look great side by side. I do wish Hasbro gives us a Spider-Man India in the future, so I do very much love that character. So that's my review of the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen. So I think this figure has a good amount of accessories, nice sculpt, great paint apps, and fairly decent articulation. So I'd say this figure is good. I wouldn't say I love it, but yeah, this figure is good. And if you're wondering where I got this figure, so I got this figure from Collector's Quest Philippines. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this figure. Let me know what you think of my review. Please leave a comment below. And if you like this video, I do appreciate it if you support the channel by hitting that like button. And if you still haven't, please hit that subscribe, as well as the notification bell. You can also follow me on social media, links in the description below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.